First, we can find out the rank matrix. Rank matrix means A is any m by n order matrix. M by n order matrix is nothing but m rows, n columns. Okay, in this, first we can take the minor square matrix. That is nothing but elimination of any. We can take either m by m or n by n, which is the smaller value, then we can take that square matrix. If that determinant is not equal to 0, then the rank of the matrix is M. If in that, when this is M is less than N. If M is less than N means we can eliminate M minus N rows, M minus N columns we can eliminate. Suppose for example, I am taking A is equal to 2 by 3 matrix. 2, 3, 1, 3, 4, 5. It is the 2 by 3 matrix. It has 2 rows and 3 columns. In this case, we can take the minor matrix that is 2 by 2. It's determined. You can eliminate any one of the row from the A matrix, either first column or second column or third column. In this, I am taking 2, 3, 3, 4. 4 2s are 8 minus 3 3s are 9. It is equal to minus 1. It will be not equal to 0. So the rank is denoted by the row. Row of A is equal to order of the matrix. It is 2. When the determinant is not equal to 0 for which order, then that is the rank of the matrix. You can take any way. If it is 3 by 2 matrix, you can take the 2 by 2 only. In that you can eliminate any one of the row. That's suitable to rank of the matrix. In this, we cannot use any form, any elementary operations, either row or column. Just we can find out the rank of the matrix means just we can check the given matrix, is it square or rectangular. If it is square matrix, just you can take the determinant. If the determinant A is equal to 0, then we can choose the minor of A. Minor of A means you can eliminate row and column. Then suppose nth order of the A matrix is equal to 0, then you can go for the n minus 1th order of the matrix. Then it is also equal to 0, then you can go for the n minus 2 order of the matrix. When it is not equal to 0, then that is the order of the given matrix. That is the method of the rank matrix. Here we can recall again the conditions. First we can take A be the m by n matrix, if A is a null matrix. If we define the rank of the null matrix is 0 only. If the matrix is non-zero matrix, we say that R is the rank of the matrix A means every R plus 1th order of the matrix determinant is equal to 0. That is the case. And there exists at least one rth order minor of A which is not 0. Then rank is denoted by row of A is equal to R. If I am taking determinant of an is not equal to 0, then the rank of the A matrix is n. If the rank of A matrix is n, then n plus 1th order of the matrices are equal to zeros only. That is the condition of the rank of the matrix. Next, we can take the echelon form. The echelon form means in this we are using the elementary operations. We can use either row or column operation, but better to use the only row operation. If echelon form means a matrix is said to be echelon form if it has the following properties. One is if A matrix has any 0 rows, then the 0 rows can be right first of all in the last column. Last row, sorry, not column, last row. If any 0 row is there in the A matrix, then that 0 row is taking to last row only. Okay, that is nothing but we can write all non-zero rows, below only we can write the zero row. That is the first condition. And next, the first non-zero entry in each non-zero row is equal to 1. Here 1, 2, 3, 0, 5, 1, 5, 0, 0, 0. If like this, if 0 row is there, then we can write in the last, and the each and every first entry, it should be 1. Next, third condition is number of zeros in the first row is less than number of zeros in the second row. See here, in the first row, number of zeros are, no zeros are there. So number of zeros, 0. In the second row, before of non-zero element, how many zeros are there? 1. In this, the last row is 0 row, means in the 3 zeros are there. That is the thing. The last condition is very, very important. It is third one. The number of zeros before the first non-zero element in a row is less than the number of such zeros in the next row. That is the condition. Okay. Simply, we can say that echelon form is nothing but we can reduce to upper triangular matrix. This is the upper triangular matrix by using of row elementary operations. In that case, only these rules are satisfied. The first rule is, if any zero row is there, then we can write below of non-zero rows. Second one is, the first non-zero entry in each row is equal to 1. Third condition is, the number of zero elements in the before non-zero element is less than the number of zeros in the succeeding row. Okay, this is the echelon form. In this only we are using row elementary operation. In the normal form, we are using row and column elementary operations. Okay. Normal form is nothing but by using of row and column, the given A matrix is reduced to identity matrix. If reduction to identity matrix, that identity matrix has which order, in that the rank of the matrix is that order. If it is A matrix is reduced to identity matrix by using of row and column operation. By using row, we can first reduce to echelon form. Next, we are using the column operation, then it goes to identity matrix. In that, the identity matrix means the normal form can be expressed either IR or column IR0 or row IR0 or square matrix IR0, 0, 0. In this case, the rank of the A matrix is smaller. Simply that is in the rth identity matrix or column. That is nothing but the last row is the 0 row. And here 0 column is there. Here 0 row and 0 column is there. This is the IR. It is also IR only. It's I1. That's the thing. This is the normal form. In this, PAQ method means if they have given a matrix, A is any order of the matrix, that is, suppose we can take M by N matrix. Then by using of A matrix, we can find out the non-singular matrices P and Q. Non-singular means the determinants are not equal to 0, then those matrices are called as the non-singular matrices, such that the normal form of A is PAQ. Normal form of A is PAQ means the above form is the normal form. By using of A matrix, we can choose A is equal to, suppose A is M by N order of the matrix, then we can take the left identity is the row matrix, the right identity is the column order. We can take the row order in the left, prefactor of A, post factor of the identity matrix. Prefactor of the identity matrix is nothing but we can take what is the row order in A matrix, same row order we can take identity. If in the A having which column order, then we can take the same order of the post factor of the A matrix of the identity. So first we can take or let A m by n is equal to Im A In. In this, we use row and column operations, but we cannot apply on the same identity the same operations. In the pre-factor, we use the row elementary operation. In the post factor of A identity, we use the column operation. Okay. Next, in the left A matrix, we use both row and column. The left A matrix, what is there? We can apply row and column matrices. So when we can apply the row operation, we use left A matrix as well as right side pre-identity matrix of A. In that only we PAQ form, we reduce to PAQ form. In that we can find out, they are asking about to find the non-singular matrices of P and Q. Non-singular means in your mind you are getting the idea, non-singular means determinant not equal to 0. Then those matrices are non-singular. How we get those non-singular matrices? From which form we are getting non-singular matrices? We don't know. The P and Q are the non-singular matrices. Only they have given the A matrix only. And it is also with different order, not a square matrix. It's either square or rectangle. That is nothing but we can take any order m by n. In that case, just you have to remember in A matrix which row order is there, that number, then you can choose that identity, the prefactor of A matrix. In A matrix, how many columns are there? That order is the post factor of the identity matrix. It's the first choosing, first assumption. Next, you remember in the prefactor, we choose the row order na. In that, we use the row operation. We choose column order na. In that, we apply the column operation. For right side, I am discussing this on identity matrices. So, after the applying of row and column operations in right side identity matrices as well as left side A matrix, in the left side A matrix, we apply row and column. Suppose, for example, we apply the row operation, then it reduced to echelon form. Next column operation, we reduce to normal form. Normal form is nothing but it is any one of the form of the normal. Either it is IR 0 in row, IR 0 in column, IR 0, 0, 0. Any one of the form of the normal. Then A matrix is reduced to identity matrix. After applying of row and column, left identity matrix is reduced to P matrix. A is no change. Why? Because we never apply any operation in between of two identities of A matrix. Only we apply the identity matrix. Then the right side identity matrix is reduces to Q matrix. Just you can check it. Is it singular or non-singular? These two matrices are exactly non-singular matrices. So those two matrices are called as non-singular matrices, what we are finding. Just you can take the A matrix is taking as IN, applying of row and column. A matrix, left A matrix is reduced to normal form. What are the operations you are applying? Row operation, then you can apply left side A, right side prefactor, pre-identity matrix. If you apply the column matrix, left side A matrix, you apply column operation, and the right side post identity matrix. In that only you apply column, not using two identities. That's the major condition of PAQ form. Okay, this is the in this, if they have given A matrix, to find the rank means either echelon form or normal form or simply using of rank. Rank means find out the determinant. If it is 0, selecting of the minor matrix, either it is equal to 0, then again selecting the minor matrix. That's the thing. Echelon means that is the upper triangular form. Normal is, it is the identity form. In the echelon, we use only row operation. In the normal, we use row and column.
And
The,
column.
in the PAQ form means just you can choose A equal to IM, AIN. In this also, you use row and column. But in the left A matrix, you use both elementary operations. But in the right side, what we choose row order, in that only we apply row operation. What we choose column order, then that on that only we use the column operation. Then after the completion of all operations, when the A matrix is reduces to identity matrix, then the right side matrices are changes to P and Q. Just you check out, is it non-singular or not? Exactly, these two are non-singular matrices only. So this is the PAQ form. These three methods are very important in this. System of linear simultaneous equations means the set of equations can be, we are taking in the x, y, z, some w, t variables are involved. If the equations can be first of all expressed in the matrix form, that is Ax equal to b. A is the coefficient matrix. X is the variable matrix. B is the constant matrix. Here, how we are getting this Ax equal to b means we can taking as a1 x1 plus a2 x2 plus so on plus an xn equal to b1. Suppose taking a11, a12, a1n. A21 x1 plus a22 x2 plus so on plus a2n xn equal to b2. So on. Suppose we are taking m equations, am1 x1 plus am2 x2 plus so on plus amn xn equal to bm. In this, A matrix is coefficient matrix. How we are expressing means A is equal to A11, A12, so on, A1n, A21, A22, so on, A2n, so on, AM1, AM2, so on, AMN. Variable matrix means what are the variables? X1, X2, so on, Xn. What is the constant matrix? The right side values what are there, then we can write in the call matrix wise. That is B1, B2, so on, Bm. This is in the form of Ax equal to b. Just you can multiply. Then again you are getting the equation system only. That is the system of simultaneous linear equations. A11 x1 plus A12. From these equations only we can express as the matrix form, that is Ax equal to b. A is the coefficient of the matrix, X is the variable matrix, B is the constant matrix. This type of linear systems can be expressed into two types. This linear system of the equations can be expressed in two types. If B is equal to 0, if B is not equal to 0. When the B is equal to 0, then the matrix form can be reduced to Ax equal to 0. It is called as homogeneous system. It is the homogeneous system. When B is not equal to 0, then the expression of the matrix form is AX equal to B. B is a constant. In that at least one value is non-zero value. Then only we can called as constant matrix. Then such type of the expression of the system is called non-homogeneous system. Why? Because B is not equal to 0 matrix, then the system is called non-homogeneous system. It is, be concentrate, it's very, very important how the solutions are there. Homogeneous system, non-homogeneous system. Homogeneous system is, it is always consistent system.
Yes, ma'am.
It is consistent system means row of A is equal to actually row of A, B. But here 0 is there. The column is 0. So the rank of the two matrices are same. So it has a solution. When the system has a solution, then the system is called as consistent system. Has a solution, consistent. No solution, inconsistent. No solution, inconsistent. This is the rule. If the system has a solution consistent, the condition is row of A equal to row of A augmented B, that is A slash B. In that, we can taking the last column as B constant matrix. If both ranks are equal, then the system has a solution, then we are getting the variable values. Those are also two types. One is Unix system. Another one is infinitely many systems. Sorry, Unix system and infinitely many solutions.
Many solutions.
Unix solution, infinitely many solutions, not Unix system.
Unique solution, infinitely many.
Unix solution, infinitely many solutions. Unix solution means row of A is equal to number of unknowns. Number of unknowns. If the in this the unknowns are x1, x2, so on, xn. How many unknowns are there? N unknowns are there. The rank of A is equal to number of unknowns. If n is equal to n, we are getting the variable values are unique values. So the system has unique solution. If the condition is for infinitely means row of A is less than number of unknowns. Number of unknowns means n. So the system has infinitely many solutions. How the system has infinitely many solutions means the variables are, if whatever the variables x1, x2, xn or x, y, z, w, whatever the variables, those are involved in parameters. We can choose the parameters. Those parameter is nothing but it belongs to real number set. The real number set has infinite values. So by substituting those parameters for different values, we are getting different solutions in the variables. So if the condition is row of A is less than n, then the system has infinitely many solutions. It has a solution consistent. If it is consistent, unique solution, infinitely many solutions. If the rank of A equal to number of unknowns, so it has only one value, variable values are unique. So unique solution. If the rank is less than number of unknowns, suppose x plus y is equal to 0 is there or 2 is there. In this, we can choose y equal to k, then x equal to 2 minus k. K is a parameter for giving all real values to this k parameter, then the solutions are also infinite. So the system has infinite solutions. Next, homogeneous system is always consistent system.
Yes, ma'am.
Why? Because B is 0. For non-homogeneous system only, either it is consistent or inconsistent.
Consistent.
Why? Because here B is non-zero is there. That depends on the row of A. Either it is equal to row of A by B, or row of A is not equal to row of A by B. If it is not equal to 0, it is inconsistent. If it is not equal, both are not equal, that is inconsistent. If equal, consistent. When it is equal, consistent, then again we can check that either the solution is unique or infinitely. Again, unique means number of unknowns equal to rank, unique. If it is less than, infinitely many solutions. These conditions are very, very important. How to find out such type of the equations means we can take Ax equal to B. Suppose you can here 0. We can take the coefficient matrix, X matrix, and it's a 0 matrix. By using row elementary operation, then reduces to upper triangular form, upper triangular matrix form, and again write in the linear equations. Solving of these linear equations, that is nothing but the last value is any xn is equal to something 1, then it is substitute in the previous equation, next substitute in the previous equations, then we are getting the x is equal to x1, x2, so on, xn. This is it. Simply we can change into upper triangular or echelon form by the elementary row operations. That is in Ax equal to 0 homogeneous. If it is Ax equal to B for non-homogeneous linear system, then we can take the matrix, that is augmented matrix. It is denoted by A by B. Here we can take A matrix and here B matrix, B1, B2, so on, Bn. Again, we can apply the row elementary operation and change into upper triangular, and we can check here, is it row of A is equal to row of A by B. That is nothing but elimination of last column, what is the rank, and including of the last column, what is the rank. If both are equal, it is consistent. If both are
lower triangle చేస్తారు కదా మ్యామ్, అప్పర్ ట్రయాంగిల్ చేస్తారు.
upper triangular. Row operation means we can change into upper triangle only. Same echelon form. Echelon form means the first non-zero element is unity and the number of zeros before of the non-zero element is less than the succeeding row.
మ్యామ్ లోవర్ కదా మ్యామ్, అది అప్పర్ పైన కదా.
Upper is nothing but this is the upper triangle only. Lower ante idi lower. Lower triangle matrix is 0 matrix avvali.
ఓకే.
Upper triangle matrix means what are the elements or non-zero elements are there, then those matrix is called as upper triangular matrix. If you select 0 rows, 0 elements, that is the 0 elements means that is nothing but lower triangle. If
Yes ma'am, yes.
okay. If both are equal, consistent. Consistent means just you write again into linear equations form and substitute the last equation has only single variable. From that we get that value and substitute above equation, we get another value, substitute above equation, we get another value. That is the procedure of the solving of linear system of the equations, either it is homogeneous or non-homogeneous. In the linear system of equations, in these 3 types are there. Okay. First one is Gauss elimination method. Second one is Gauss-Jordan method. Third one is LU decomposition method. Or method of factorization. That is the LU method, means method of
Factor.
LU equal to or A equal to LU. That is nothing but factorization method. Gauss elimination method means we can apply only row operation. In the Gauss-Jordan also row operation only. We use only row elementary operations. In the row elementary operations, in the Gauss elimination means we can reduce to upper triangular form. Suppose
Yes,
A1, A2, A3, suppose B1, 0, A4, A5, B3, 0, 0, C0, like this. This is called as the Gauss elimination method. Simply you remember echelon form, reduce to echelon form, then that is the Gauss elimination. Gauss-Jordan method means in that reduce to normal form, but in this also we are using only row elementary operations. In the both methods we are using row elementary operations only. But after reduction of the echelon form, again we follow the reverse. First we can use upward to downward, then downward to upward we can take. In the Gauss-Jordan, we use the R3. Next, that is nothing but R2 tends to R2 minus R3. R1 is R1 minus R3 that we are using. For echelon form, we use R2 into R2 minus R1. Something we use multiple of any constant or addition, subtraction, that using of algebraic operations. Okay, but when we can change into elimination, then again use the R3. Why? Because these two are zeros are there. When we use the R3, then these two elements reduce to 0 and this element is reduced to 0. In the again reverse order means first step use R3, in the second step next R2 we use, then we are getting the first elements that given augmented matrix. What are we are taking the augmented matrix AB is changed into normal form. That is 1 0 0, suppose B1 0 1 0, B2 0 0 1, some B3. But in both cases we use only row operation. Elimination means only we take half of the Jordan form. After the elimination, we go to the reverse of operation, that is use R3, then it reduces to normal form. We are taking the x1, x2, x3 values are some constants. So what are the last column values are there? Those are the difference of the elimination and Jordan. But in the elimination, we can apply in the A1x plus A2y plus A3z is equal to suppose B1, A4y plus A5z is equal to suppose B2. Like this we are using, and A6z equal to some B3. From this z equal to B3 by A6, then next apply y value we get, y and z values apply in this x value we are getting. That is the elimination method. Jordan method means directly we get x1, x2, x3 values. Why? Because again we are doing the row operation, change into normal form. That's why. And the method of factorization or LU decomposition, both are very, very important. Both are same. Here, We can take A is equal to factor of lower matrix, upper matrix. In this lower matrix, we can take as
L11
L11 0 0
0 0 L1
L2. No, 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 not L11. Not L11.
0 ma'am 0
1
0
0 0 L21 1
0
0
0
L31 L32 1.
1.
This is the lower. If I am taking 3 by 3, if it is 4 by 4, then you can again take L41, L42, L43. That's 1.
1.
Next, U is the upper triangle. In this,
U11
U11, U12, U13,
U13
0,
0 1
U22,
U22
UT3, 0, 0,
0
U33. Just you can take the product of L and U. It can be equate to A coefficient matrix. That is,
U11
suppose A matrix is A11, A12, A13, A21, A22, A23, A31, A32, A33 equal to lower
U11
matrix 1 0 0, L21 1 0, L31, L32 1, U is U11, U12, U13, 0, U22, U23, 0, 0, U33. Next product, it is equal to U11,
U13
U12, U13, L21,
L21
U11,
U11
L21, U12
L12
plus U22,
plus U22
L21 plus L21, U13 plus U23,
2 2 3
L31, U11, L32, U12, sorry, L31,
plus
U12 plus L32,
U2
U22,
U2
L31, U13 plus
L3
L32, U23 plus U33. Equate on both sides. A11 equal to U11, A12 equal to U12, A13 equal to U13,
A1
A21
A21
equal to
L21
L21 U11, A31 equal
U2
to L31 U11,
U
A22 equal to
A2
U21
U1
L21 U12 plus
plus
U22, A23 equal to
L31
L21 U13 plus U23. Like that, L31 over L32 is A32 is L31 U12 plus L32 U22. A33 equal to L31 U13 plus L32 U23 plus U33. Solving of these equations, we know A12, A11, A12, A13. These values substitute here, we are getting L21, L31. L21, U11 we are getting. Then here we can substitute. L21 we know the value, U12 is also knowing the value. From this U22 we are getting. This U22 substitute here. Here 31 substitute, 12 substitute, we are getting L32. The solving of these all equations, we are getting L and U matrices. Those are non-singular matrices. After that, finding of those matrices, we can take AX equal to LUX B. This UX is equal to Y matrix, then LY equal to B. First, we can assume Y is the unknown matrix. From unknown matrix, substitute here, we are getting Y matrix values. Next, from Y substitute in UX, we are getting X values. Okay, here L is the lower matrix, we know that. B is the matrix, we know that. Then after the multiplying of lower matrix and Y variable matrix, we are getting the linear equations. From these linear equations, we are getting Y1, Y2, Y3 values. Here, Y is the known matrix. After solving of this Ly equal to B. U is the known matrix. If you know the right side matrix, left side of the one matrix, again this can be expressed into linear equations in x1, x2, x3. Then you are getting the X matrix. Okay, this is the solving of this by using of decomposition method, LU decomposition, that is factorization method. First, choosing of these two are very, very important. Lux equal to B, in that UX equal to Y unknown variable matrix. This Y is substitute above, then we are getting Ly equal to B. From this equation, from Ly equal to B, known matrix, we get Y matrix. Next, UX equal to Y, known matrix, we are getting X matrix. This is the procedure of LU decomposition or factorization method.